Hey guys, this is Chris from Smithy Finance. Today is February 13th, and this is your Midday Market Report. So, not a hell of a lot to report today. We do have the markets up in general. New York up, or the Dow up 140 points, NASDAQ up 120 points. So, up about a 0.5%. Toronto's up 95%, also a 0.5%. I gotta say, not much is happening in my world. The uranium stocks continue to lag. Gold and silver and copper stocks are more or less flat today, and Bitcoin is down. I saw a tweet yesterday or a post on X, and the question that the tweeter put out was, "What is more risky, having a 10% holding in Bitcoin or a 0%?" It's an interesting concept. And I'm going to say 0%. There's a really good chance that we're going to see inflation and the value of the dollar, both the US dollar and even more so the Canadian dollar, go down, or at least the purchasing power of the dollar go down, and therefore the value of Bitcoin and gold and silver go higher. I think you got to get off zero, guys. If you have none and you think it's a scam, I really don't think it is. Do a little bit of work on it. It's the most perfect money in the world. And truly, you should have some, even if it's 1% of your holdings or 2% of your holdings. As I've said before, mine's much higher. Now, let's talk about Reddit. So I've been talking about Reddit probably since my first video, my first market update video. And the stock's been on a ramp, big ramp. I think they went public somewhere around $40 a share. It hit $230. That was back in last April, I believe. And it hit $230 a share just 2 or 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago. And we hit, that's my cat. One second. So sorry about that. So it hit, it hit 230. Yesterday we closed around 220, and then the earnings came out after the close, and the stock got smoked pretty good. It went all the way down to about 180 in the aftermarket. My son, who's 25, we text. He doesn't live here anymore, but we text quite a bit. And he said, "Well, what do you think, Dad? Are we buying it tomorrow?" And I said, "Well, probably, but let's see how the market reacts when the market opens." And truly, the numbers from Reddit were good. You know, they increased their daily active users 39%. Fourth quarter revenue up 71%, gross margins 92.6%. So I mean, these guys are growing, they're producing cash, but the stock's not cheap. I mean, any growth company is going to trade at a big multiple. If you're looking out 3 or 4 or 5 years, and it's going to compound 50% a year as far as their growth goes or more, then it's not cheap based on 5 years out, or it's not expensive, sorry, based on 5 years out, but based on where we are now, it's pretty expensive. So I really want to see how the market reacts to the numbers. There's, I don't know, how many houses, how many research analysts are following this stock? I mean, it's a lot, 30, 40, 50, and they're going really in depth. So there's no way that I'm going to read that report and have an edge at all. I just want to see how the market reacts. And so when the market closed last night, it was around 180, 185. This morning I wake up or get up and it's 195 to 200, and it opened above 200. So I bought a little bit at $200, and I've got a bigger bid at 195 and a bigger bid than that at 190. It's holding steady. It hit 196 roughly, and currently it's like 202. 202 right now. So anytime a company reports earnings, you've got to look at what the earnings are versus what the earnings were expected to be. You'll see what they were against last year, but what's far more important is what the average analyst was expecting, or the average price or earnings that the group of analysts were expecting. But then the next thing, and it's even more important, is the outlook from the company. What are they saying about their future? What are their future expectations for earnings revenues, in this case, unique daily account users. So it's really, so you've got to read the whole press release to get down to the outlook, which is usually buried quite a bit further. But make no mistake, that is the most important part of any report. So the outlook is good. The stock was expecting a lot. As I said, it's already up 500 or 600% from a year ago. So it's not without risk, but I do want to own more. I think the numbers were good. I expect there will be some weakness. If the market sells off 5%, this will probably sell off 10%, because we're going to call it a high beta stock, and it'll do the market, times two sort of idea. So that's Reddit. Not much else for me to say to you today. I think we'll just wrap it up there. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.